my bungee. And the water bottle.
That's going to be it, folks. If they want to end the game, they can. The Yumi play was a little bit of an overextend. Fnatic remain undefeated.
Toilet, 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 toilet. Ow, ow. Stop it. Ow.
Why you guys have so much stuff?
What do you mean I have a bottle with water?
A water bottle.
Is water bottle?
Mouse
Water bottle too much? Is it too much to ask for?
No, you have to be scanned. You have to get scanned.
What do you mean?
Fucking cheater. It's not getting scanned.
See, I'm good.
It's a 40-minute slugfest between these two teams, but ultimately, it's Splice going for the Nexus.
From losing in spring playoffs to Fnatic to fighting back once again, so many doubted them, but Splice proved them amongst the best in the LEC.
I think Summer Split was really good at the beginning, but then after we got back from Rift Rivals, I feel like we kind of got a bit comfortable maybe. And we even took a week off after Rift Rivals when other teams were obviously practicing throughout Rift Rivals and after Rift Rivals, so it felt like we kind of fell behind a little bit there, especially with the release of Kiana as well. So we didn't really know her power level, and then we ended up giving her to Splice in our first round robin. It turned out to be really OP. When no one really knew how it worked either, it was just like even more OP because at least now people know how it works. So even though it leaves you with little to no counterplay, at least you know what's coming. But back then I was clueless, right? Just as how my teammates were clueless as well on what she could do. So that was a big mistake, I think. And after that week, I got benched.
Make sure Felix feels good on stage. I got you. Ask questions if you have to. Carry him if you have to. Depends. Do you drink her or not?
This is just going to be it for Oscar, and after all of that, the final fight, anticlimactic, not quite what Fnatic were looking for, and Rogue now stepping forward. TSM versus Rogue debate ended. Rogue versus Fnatic debate ended. Rogue will find the win.
So last year when I got benched, it was my own decision and even my own idea to begin with. I was the one who came up with it after week one. Meanwhile, this time around it was a little bit different because first of all, it wasn't my idea. I didn't really, or don't really even to this day understand why it even happened, because I don't think it had any like justifiable means or any like real ground to stand on. It just felt like it was out of nowhere. Didn't really have anything to do with my performance, so it just kind of felt like weird, I guess, to be in that situation. I can understand why people are like really worried about me, but in the end, I guess the only thing you really need to know is that it's been a really tough situation for me.
Hi, Hilly.
Maybe.
Mariachi.
And what will your role be? The shakers?
Yeah, I'm the shaker.
And you will just use hand warmers or what?
What? Well, no, I'll use actual sticks, you know, like the what do you call them? Samba sticks?
Yeah, shakers.
Broxa is legendary. Reckless, will he find his 1500th kill in this game? 2 more is all it's going to take. Can he find one? Wants one more. Is he going to get it or is he going to wait for next game? Reckless in this moment. It looks like Fnatic have their eyes on the prize. They'll leave one more waiting. You're going to have to wait for next week's folks before Reckless's 15th calendar kill. Fnatic will take the win.
Oh shit, my 3D glasses. Oh no, my 3D glasses. What's happening?
Throwing them all over.
And again. What can I do? Just get in there.
I've been doing alright. This has been a few stressful weeks. Not much sleep. Because yeah, every game really counts right now. So even every day of practice counts. Every draft has to be won. Prep has to be perfect. So something that I realized is that when we rehash old goals that we feel are really important fundamentals, the spark and the ignition to really work on them is kind of gone. There's not much effort being put into actually obtaining the goals when we set them out, like the similar goals that we had in spring and start of summer, like the very basic fundamentals of macro. So I noticed that we're not as good as doing them on stage as we were 6 months ago, which is a really bad thing. And we're also not really actively working on them in scrims, even when it is the goal to do so. So it's more like we have to find new things to work on, to keep that spark going, to keep the drive going, find new ways to improve as a team instead of focusing just on the fundamentals. The fundamentals are about winning games that you should win and winning games that you shouldn't win. And that is something that we used to be really fucking good at. But since we stopped actually putting the effort into making sure that we follow the fundamentals to make sure that we win the games our own way, we stopped also being very consistent on stage.
Misfits squad, take him down! Reckless is the last man standing as the Nexus turret starts to fall. Misfits do the unthinkable! Misfits surprise Europe! And Misfits take down Fnatic!
Bolly bear? I would not play. I would not play the Bolly bear.
Fnatic, they knocked on the door for ages. They kept being repelled by Origin, but in the end, there is nothing that can stop the Orange Tide oncoming. It is Fnatic, it is Europe, and this is the League of Legends that we love to see.
What is this for?
It's for 1+.
Just to look cool?
1+.
What's that, Tim?
1+. Show it! Hey, show it! There's nothing else!
His guard is balanced! The guard is not balanced! His guard is balanced! The guard is not balanced! Has everyone ever said Gargus is balanced? If they did, they were wrong!
Schalke are trying to do everything they can to defend, but it's Fnatic. They've turned their attention to the Nexus. Maybe they want to get more kills, we'll find out. If not, gets the dredge line. Nexus continues to fall. Nemesis Valkyries forward, chasing the KDA. Upset gets pulled backwards, the Nexus falls. Fnatic take down Schalke.
For tomorrow, great content piece. Because, you know, I am the intern now for content. This is what you do. You buy the fake nose and moustache, okay? You do that, you make a sign, and then you give it to me, you know, or something, or to Louis, and then you, as a pick this champion, and then we take pictures. Boom.
You know there was a rainbow by the way.
Was there? Where was the rainbow, Hilly?
In the sky.
Sick is different from being allergic.
It's gone now.
Wow.
South sky.
Finishes him off for the ace. G2 have done it right when you think maybe someone in Europe could challenge them. This is their moment. They remind Europe there are no contenders in the eyes of G2.
So the first time we played G2, we were still undefeated, and we knew that it really felt like we could beat G2 and hold on to that first place. Because of the slump, this time it felt a lot different. If anything, we were more focused on beating Schalke, because that's the game we really had to win to be in contention for top 2. G2 already had a 1 or 2 game lead on us, so it felt more focused on just beating Schalke or not losing to Schalke than it was on actually going into the week fully focused on G2. So the hype was a lot less around that. And then in game, there were a lot of things I was happy with. We were trying to play with the tempo of the game, but both sides continuously kept fighting when they were outnumbered or then later in the game out of tempo, and they kept getting catches when it happened. And yeah, we just got caught probably 5 more times than they did, so we got snowballed on really hard. So the last weeks have been pretty rough on us. There's been quite some disagreements on what to play, how to play, where to play. And what to focus on, solo queue, scrims, drafts, whatnot. I think, however, that after the G2 game, we all realized, hey, we can win this split if we just put our best effort into it and understand that we're going to be thinking different ways and playing different ways, and that we are just very different people. And now that we have a realization that we can beat G2, now it's time for everyone to set that first step forward, and that's also something that we're really pushing for as coaching staff.
Oh, look who it is. Are you a Slipknot fan?
No, I mean, the first part was good, now it's ruined. The first part was like, holy shit, you know, I'm about to fucking mega smurf it, and then it's like...
Moving in with confidence, an absolutely dominant game for the team. A bit rocky in the early game, no doubt, but absolute control in the mid to late game. XL did not stand a chance, and even their fountain may not be enough to save them. Fnatic take the win.
You know, at the end, when we were bagging for Baron, I was really sad because I was really feeling it. Like I missed like 2 Qs at mid, and if I didn't miss those, I would have gone for the big play. I was really ready, but I missed every Q. That was really sad.
I feel like I entered it a bit, but otherwise a pretty good game.
How did you enter?
I just died 4 times for no reason, so whatever. I think 3 of my deaths were straight int, and then 1 of them was like avoidable but understandable, if that makes sense.
So just another typical football game?
Exactly. Good mix of int and carry. Historically, he's been one of my favorites. I mean, I like playing him, don't get me wrong. It's just there's, like, games like this feel amazing because he's a champion where if people run at you, but if people run away from you, you're like, oh, let me hit my keg, you know, like, come here. You're just running, putting kegs behind them, no, come here. You know, it's like a cartoon, like, you're just putting kegs behind them, you know, you're spawning keg after keg, and you're just like, come here. And they just run away or hit your keg, and you're just like, but if they run at you, then you're just sitting there waiting, you know? And then you just tap the keg or shoot it, and then everyone dies because you GP. That's what you do.
So many cameras.
To see it from the Vitality duo.
Yeah, and you brought up very early in draft how Poppy can be an excellent counter into the Yuumi for knocking her out of her attachment. Well, Volibear's E can do exactly the same thing. There's not the grounded effect on top of it, but there's definitely tools here to shut down the Yuumi, the Corki, and the Lee Sin.
Wait a minute. That's locked in!
What? Is this Garen Yuumi bot lane?
Garen bot lane! What? Did you guys know about this?
Yes! You know about this? Well, it got played in the UKLC like now. Yeah, not even gonna be contested by Vitality Force.
They can't because they're getting the first back. All by this duo.
Oh my god, I've seen this in 3. Run away! Moving into the base to find the kills, and they will end the game here. Keeping themselves tied up with Splice, keeping themselves in the race for second, and ever closer to a spot in Athens.
Yeah, once a week we have new warding challenges, like specific wards over walls that everyone has to do. And they have to do it with the pressure of being watched by their teammates, and they have to do it fluently as well. So if they are like stuttering or really slow, they get some points deducted, and I'm the judge of how well they do it. So they get to know a few days in advance what wards they have to know and how to execute them.
Wait, the champion that you want? Buy or I'm buying the one. But I instantly see a huge mistake. I would not be able to play sports with this mouse cursor. That's for sure.
Okay, so in the first week, Broxah was by far the worst, but he also had to go first. So, you know, he was carrying a lot of weight on his shoulders, and he was one of the grandmasters. It was really slow, but he really picked it up the last time. So,
Who do you think was the worst?
The worst. That's so toxic. If I would have to pick one, it would probably be Puivo, because Puivo was a bit of a... I mean, either he was a bit of a lazy student, or he was a bit too optimistic in his own skills and just, you know, YOLOing it on the spot.
Oh! I entered it.
You're missing it before.
Holy shit.
No, what?
That's what she said.
It reminds me a bit of being back in school where, you know, some people really, you know, study and prepare to show what they got, and others just go with the flow. And some days it worked really well for Puivo, but other days it was a rough one.
Oh my god.
Wait, what? I missed it again? No, this is how it says it goes.
Bimbo, just FF, okay?
Oh god.
It's not shame to stand up out of this chair right now. There is no shame. There is no shame. No shame.
Maybe Bimbo gets to Bimbo, you have detention. We'll see you at the end of the day.
Rage quit. Holy shit.
What score does he get, Alex?
What? I got 1 point for this game? Exactly.
Do you actually practice the wards in the warding challenge, or do you just come in and wing it?
I come in and wing it. And so when I saw the words that I was asked to do, I was like, holy shit, you know, they're really up the difficulty this time. I'm like, come on guys. And I entered all of them. I was just like, oh, whatever, man. I'm never putting, like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not saying it out loud because I'm trying to save face, you know, but I'm thinking to myself, I am never putting any of those words ever in any competitive game, so I did not give a fuck, you know. It shows the fact that I care, right? And I feel like me failing that showed that I didn't really care, which is kind of a bad thing. I should have at least practiced it a bit. I watched the video, right? And I watched the slides and stuff, but I didn't go into practice though, but I'm like, okay, I'm studying it like 15 minutes before. I'm like, that seems doable, right? And then I tried to do everything the slides told me, and it was pure int. Like, it was just doomed. Like, the slides were useless. Useless.
Do you feel like you were at school again and you were like cramming to study for an exam?
Basically, you know, and I was like, oh, yeah, maybe it can work. And then once you fail the first one, you just know it's lost, right? It's like the same in maths, right? You do the first formula and you're like, that doesn't seem right. You know, like, I don't think my formula is right, you know? Like, that doesn't seem right. And then you just know it's fucking doomed. Go next, fast.
You see this dot?
Yeah, I know.
Click there. What you know? And then, I don't know, wait.
4.
You lock your camera and you click here. 4.
Yeah, I need an introduction.
Okay guys, this is Krunker IO gameplay. I'm legit the best player in the world after playing this game for probably 3 minutes. Obviously, right now I'm just chilling because I only have like 1 year, you know. This game is too easy at this point. I'm just owning everyone on the server, boom, headshot. I abuse sniper class really hard, but once people go to many snipers, I just swap to revolver and I just revolver them down. Because if people are too bad, then I swap to crossbow, the worst weapon in the game. This is my camping spot. No one is coming, like, okay? That.
This is the worst weapon in the game, by the way.
I need to reload. He got me.
But it's a bit lame that you can like move and shoot, no? But it's accurate when you move.
This guy's a noob. This guy has never played a competitive shooter before in his life.
What? It's not accurate. Look! Oh, you choke now that I watch.
Like, you need to record the gameplay, not me. Like, I know I'm beautiful, but my gameplay is even better. Do your job, Pete.
What happened to that
Look,
kid?
boom, headshot.
What happened to that kid? He used to be so humble and nice, and now he just got it full of shit.
I joined Fnatic. Change me.
Well, basically we're playing Splice tonight, and it's a really important game for both teams because we have the same score and we're both fighting for the second spot. I feel really mixed about this game, honestly. Like, on one side I'm a bit nervous about it, but at the same time I feel like this split, more than ever, I've been going into every game with so much pressure on myself and, you know, so much pressure when it comes to performing, feeling like I have to perform at my absolute best every game. So while I am aware that this game is more important than pretty much all the other games we played this split, this is going to be the most important one. It doesn't really change my mindset or make me afraid or anything, because I feel like I've had to prove something the entire split, and this is just another one of those 18 games.
But with a ward spotted out, he's not going to go for it.
And it could also just be that he thinks that he can get the double buff.
You can win this! Splice is split up, Nemesis coming in to join it. Look at the bottom side of the fight. Reckless almost takes down Humanoid. Well, in the end, Cannon Barrage won't save you now. Hillisang in with the charm as Cersei goes down towards the bottom of the fight, but North Scam has caught out Reckless. He goes golden for the second. Hillisang almost falls as Kobe opens up the big guns. Boxer flashing in, knocks him back, but Reckless is down, and Kobe's still alive. Nemesis joining the fight as 2 go down. Fnatic, though, Whippo gets another 2 shutdowns to him, and it's only Cersei and Kobe left alive. Trying to break through that inhibitor line, but they can't do it yet. Cersei still on the flank position, going in. Humanoid's here. Oh, it's Hillisang who gets caught out. They'll stun lock him, and they'll take him out before the fight even starts. And now Humanoid is coming in from the side, and Splice may have found their moment. Splice may have found their man, but Whippo stands stalwart in the way. The GA popped, and they'll look to take him out. Kobe jumps in, takes out Roxanne. Whippo's gonna fall as well. TP coming in. It's Nemesis joining the fight, but Splice might look for it. Nemesis maybe TPing into his demise. Kobe's gonna open up. Oh, Nemesis! Nemesis steps up once again, goes golden. Reckless here to help out his mid lane, and Oscan with the stun lock. Kobe gets another, but Reckless will answer it. 4 for 4 as Reckless continues in his AD carry versus AD carry, and Kobe is feeling himself, but Reckless says not today!
Let's see if Splice can do anything to turn this one around. We keep our eyes on Kobe every single time. He is the man that could turn it around. Late game Tristana, they find the ult.
Cersei going in, but it's only Whippo they've caught. He's still got a GA. He jumps forward, can't quite land on Kobe. Tumble coming in here from Reckless as he tries to join the fight. Chachi's not there. It's a 4v5 now as Reckless is here for the fray. Kobe's still opening up, but Whippo's already got 1 kill. Chachi's now going to TP in, but he's on the back of the fight. And Fnatic have already won. GA not even popped by Whippo.
Yeah, because Whippo's got his TP. He's going to come back in, and Kobe put everything into him, and now Reckless
putting everything in to taking out Kobe. He stands up. He's counted. Fnatic take 3. Splice can do nothing about it, and Fnatic are looking for that Nexus. You might, Splice. You cannot stand up against the 7-time champions. Fnatic sweep you aside. They do not care about your playoff hopes. They take you out, and Fnatic set their sights on G2.
And the reason why I played Kai'Sa was just because Kai'Sa is a really OP champion right now, so I wanted to play her just because she's OP. I mean, if Karma was OP still, I would just play Karma, right? But Karma got nerfed 2 patches in a row, I think, and she kind of dropped off the radar, including my own. So now I guess Kai'Sa's my new queen, and I just should play her every time she's open. But I guess despite everything that's happened, this split, it's kind of nice, and I'm really happy about it that we ended up getting second anyways. I mean, we might as well been like 6th or even missed out on playoffs and then had to fight our way through gauntlets. So the fact that we can now kind of lean back and say that regardless of everything, we're still second, we still probably get to Worlds by points in worst case. It's just, yeah, it's a good feeling. And I hope that it gives our team some more hope that everything is not as shitty as it seems and that we can potentially still make a run for it. I would like to try. And if it doesn't work, then it didn't work, but at least we tried.
Needs to be a 5-man mission. If we're going to int, we're going to int together. You know, like drafting pure int is really fun until 5 minutes into the game you're 0-5, and then suddenly it's not that fun anymore. You know, like, oh, we are pirates. Oh.
I would rather play Ken and Shen than MF Pike, I think.
Yeah. Well, it needs to be a 5-man mission.
I'm not playing Ken or Shen.
No, you're playing in Kali.
Oh, I don't mind playing Kali.
Shen Cannon is our bot lane, Zed is our mid lane.
Any better TFT ideas?
Like, you guys have the fucking worst ideas ever. Why would you play a TFT comp? It's like champs. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Jace by Jinx. That's what Zach.
That's what Zach channel.
I mean, I'm really down to jump.
That's what Zach. We've done that before. They're gonna look at Olaf on 1-2 and then we match with Zach.
Spending more time on our meme draft than our actual draft.
What champion do you want to play? Draven?
Nuki X Golden.
What do you want to play?
Guys have some broken, right?
Yeah, I can pick up.
Whatever you want. I don't care.
Guys have broken.
Just something that is not an AP champion because I want to build hard. Yeah, go play Twitch. Seriously.
Twitch do me. It's so broken. What are you playing, Jana?
Yeah, I think now.
What's a good combo with Jana?
Twitch is great.
Yeah, they absolutely are. We are going to have a little bit more fun with this game as the LEC Twitter account tweeted #almost every game counts.
Except for the last one, and this one, unfortunately, we're gonna get the Janna though. So wait, is this Reckless's great return to the Janna bot lane?
We're going to have a little bit of a kerfuffle here as Bwipo, Hilly, and Broxer will run into some rogue members.
Yeah, Bwipo's the big winner here, though, because all the damage he deals, he's just stacking his passive. He doesn't care if he dies.
Obviously, he's going to be going the Rast, I assume, as opposed to Shadow Assassin.
No, he's going Shadow Assassin. Come on, Trevor.
Have some fun. Well, look, the minions
He's going to wait till he hits level 3. Clear those minions, Broxer. You'll get level 3.
Okay.
Or don't.
Does Woolite survive? He's going to have massive up. Oh, we missed it. Looking at Inspired.
Good thing we saw Inspired there.
You know what? Even the observers are getting in the happiness right now.
Wait, why are we seeing the kill in the top lane?
Oh, he's going to trade 1 for 1, and Broxer gets the kill for Fnatic and Rogue to break. If they don't, this is not a successful, happy game, and it does not meet the requirement for peak League of Legends.
Look at that. Good guy Hill is saying he hears you, Trevor. He's like, okay, we got to start feeding the kills early on, make sure that we can get up to the 76 mark. So it would be if he takes over.
There we go. Let's take a look. Trespass in. Rematch comes out. That's going to be a pop. 300 down to 100. Bwipo dashes forward, gets the kill, and Hilly just in time for the revive. Now going for the fight. I really want Vander to go for the one-slap build. All right, here comes Hilly. You go.
Wait, what? Wait, dude!
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, to always look left and right before crossing the street. Number 60, Vander jumps forward, gets the Cosmic Binding. Bwipo's in some trouble as Larson will almost deliver him into the fountain, and not just yet. 59
Wait, it's not over though.
Hey guys, too early.
Guys,
too
it's
early,
not over.
Too early.
I get it, we like Reckless. Reckless is a good-looking dude, but we're still playing League of Legends here.
Finally, the teleports into the base, and Hillisang will be slowing down Vander.
Come on.
Fate comes out.
That's so toxic.
A little bit of a smile. Finally, the Nexus will go down. Fnatic finished the regular season in second.
What was really funny though was that he was just pressing S there, you know, and then you just fly past him, and then you're like walking, and then you're like, oh shit, he's here, come back.
I think even if we've had a lot of issues ever since I got benched, the fact that we're playing G2 specifically is actually a really good thing, because it leaves us with basically no pressure. Everyone expects the current best team in the world to just run all over us. So no one is really like looking at us to even take a game from them, which I think is a really good thing for us, because we can just kind of, you know, do our thing. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it works, then that's obviously superb, and we can even maybe tilt them a little bit. I think we kind of know what to expect from them. I mean, they play a lot of champions in a lot of different roles, so it's hard to like win the raft potentially. But once it actually comes to the game, I think they play pretty much the same way every game. They like to just, you know, take every fight, regardless of where it is on the map, regardless if it's a good fight or a bad fight. They just like to fight a lot. And if we are down to fight on the day, then I think we can take them. If we're not down to fight, then it's gonna be hard. But I think you have to beat fire with fire. And hopefully everyone's down to just brawl G2 on the day.